Hi, I'm Mike from Michael's Motor Cars, located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I'm happy to take you along today for a test drive of a 1974 BMW 2002 Tii with some serious modifications done to it that we're offering on Bring a Trailer. This is a consignment sale for us, so we are selling this car on behalf of the owner. I'd like to point out also, make sure you watch our showroom video where I'll go into more details about what's been done to this car and its current condition, which is very high. Also, we will do a cold start video so you can see the car starting up cold, how it reacts. But the purpose of today is to go on a driving video. We're squeezing one in the East Coast right now between all the rain we've had recently. So we're trying to squeeze in a quick one before it starts raining again, but we have nice dry roads. So let me start the car up for you. It always starts very easily. That's nice to see. The instrumentation on the car, as we go across it, the lights, turn signals, all of that is functioning. The horn is working. The gas gauge is working. The temperature gauge does not function because they now have a temperature gauge down here in this cluster. So they've moved it down here. This is actually far more accurate than the original gauge. And they have the sending unit in for this gauge. They also have oil pressure right here, which you can see we're at idle right now. It's fully warm and it's sitting at 30 pounds. Of course, that will go up when we drive it, and you'll see in the cold start video that will be higher. We also have an amp gauge, which is working correctly. While we're here, the current owner also added this stereo system, which is very nice in the car. And this is where the whole climate control sits. I'm saying climate control because this is heating and air conditioning. It does work. The blower works. The compressor works. It does blow cold. But what happens when you turn the air conditioning off, the blower is now the blower for the heat, defrost, and air conditioning. Up here is where if you slide this, it changes where the air is coming from as far as facial air or defroster. And then this is also your temperature. So it's really cool. This is all controlled. The heater hoses are coming off the engine, going into the heater core, which is here. It also means that the original controls over here are disabled. So this is no longer working. The car no longer has the original BMW heater box. Everything is done through this new unit. It does work very well. The only thing I would note, the idle on the car is a little high because when the compressor goes on, it pulls the idle down. So that would be something, if that bothers you, you may want to adjust the idle up slightly in the summer months and lower it in the winter months. Or figure out a idle compensation valve to have that work better. We have the standard TII dash. We have the TII clock, which is here. The dash is beautiful in this car. There are no cracks or splits. Very nice overall condition. Nardi steering wheel. This is also a manual sunroof car that works properly. Opens and closes as it should. It does go the whole way. It seals nicely. The windows all work. Everything works on the car. It is a 5-speed transmission. And it is, and we'll post all of this in the offering, it is a modified engine. So it is a 4-cylinder fuel-injected TII engine, but then heavily modified. So let's go for a drive. The suspension system has also all been changed. It now has coilovers at all 4 wheels, different stabilizer bars. So the overall ride, it's much stiffer than a TII was originally from the factory. The 5-speed transmission works quite well. Synchromesh is excellent. 5-speed is a nice cruising gear. It does have a stall header on it, a different muffler. So you can drive this car easily. It's very tractable. The turn-in is nice, crisp. There's 4th gear, and of course we have 5th over there. The gearing is nice. The spacing of the transmission is very nice. So you can drive it just like a regular TII, and it drives nicely. However, with all these modifications, of course, it has a lot more performance capability. And that's the difference with a car like this that has been modified with performance in mind. And these cars were fun to begin with. And now if it can be called funner, this car is funner. We're in third right now. Very flat handling. And it does run nicely. I mean, here we're at 4,000. And it's got it pulls nicely, very strong. Downshifts well. So it still has, it feels like a TII, but kind of on steroids, just stronger. The car was well set up. The modifications are well done. The engine is a really nice build. As I mentioned earlier, it's very tractable. It idles smoothly, does not overheat. So if you like BMWs and you like the performance side of them, I would really consider this car. But keep in mind, it has been modified to a different level of performance. It would be fun on a track. If you do track days, this car would be a blast. So please ask us any questions. This car was sold before on Bring a Trailer. The current owner purchased it out of that auction at the end of the auction. He ended up buying the car. He then did the entire air conditioning setup and did some other modifications to the car, and now we're presenting it again on Bring a Trailer. So please ask us any questions you may have, and hopefully we'll find a good home for this very special car. Thanks for coming along on the ride.